are already felt in many areas, including in relation to agriculture, food security, biodiversity, ecosystems, water resources, human health, human settlements, migration patterns, energy, transport, and industry. Climatic change is a crisis that affects the women profoundly. Women are the primary dependents on natural resources and are responsible for securing food, water, and fuel for the households, and therefore are most vulnerable. While being engaged in environment-related activities, women have less control over such resources and have limited decision-making power. For women, the effects of climate change are already a lived experience, where environments are damaged, traditional sources of livelihood disappear, women must crouch further and travel wider to meet their needs. Climatic change disproportionately harms women due to their marginalized identities, and at the same time increases the risk of widening such disparities. Let us see what Dr. Thara has to tell us about this. If I have to talk about Dr. Thara, it will take another 1 hour. She's also a complete package by herself. She is my favorite child. She's a smart, dynamic, powerful, young scientist. Dr. Thara was a member of the first Disaster Management Authority of Government of Kerala and served as the head of the Disaster Management Center, Institute of Land and Disaster Management, and the Revenue Department for 16 years, from 2016. She worked as a senior scientist in the Remote Sensing and Environment Center for 3 years and as a selection grade lecturer in geology for 13 years. She was a coordinator in the project Climate Resilience of Urban Cities under the National Institute of Urban Affairs, Government of India in southern states. She gave the keynote address in the International Conference on Disaster Resilience organized by Glasgow University, UK in 2019. She served as a panelist in the National Disaster Management Authority, Government of India, and presently is a guest faculty in disaster management in National Disaster Management Authority. Sorry. And 4 universities, UGC Academic Staff Training Colleges of Kerala, Mahatma Gandhi, the Central University in Kasaragod, and Kannur universities. She's also a resource person of the IAS Training Center of Government of Kerala, Amrita Institute, and 15 government institutions, including the state and the police, forest, health, family affairs, Department of Agriculture, State Electricity Board, as well as the Fire and Rescue Department, State Administrative Training Institute, State Institute of Rural Development, BA Training Colleges, etc. She is also a winner of the Young Scientist Award of the Department of Science, Technology, and Environment. She is a member of the expert panel of UNDP Delhi in disaster management. She is an external mentor of the Department of Education, Government of Kerala for the higher secondary and graduation levels. She completed international training programs in disaster management by ADPC in Bangkok, Center of Excellence in Hawaii, World Bank Institute, Washington, and Karlsruhe Institute of Technology in Germany. And she also has got a certificate in remote sensing and GIS from National Remote Sensing Agency. She has written 15 reports, 50 publications to her credit on geology, disaster management, and there's around 380 radio programs and 450 TV programs on disaster management, women empowerment, literature, and environment-related issues. She has conducted more than 1,500 training and capacity building programs in disaster management for various stakeholders. You may think that her interests are just confined to only these aspects. No, she is interested in classical music, veena, flute, and percussion. So that's what I said. She's a complete package. I'm proud of you, Thara, and welcome you to this platform. Thank you. It is also my duty to welcome our former president, Mrs. Sheila Kakade, our vice president, Hemalata ji, also Usha Pillai, who is a member in charge, liaison with international relations, Bhuvaneshwari, who is a member in charge, climatic change, our patron, Mrs. Ramakrishna Pillai, and all members of AIWC, Trivandrum as well as the all over AIWC branches. So once again, welcome to all of you. Thank you. Over to you, Tara. I'm so proud of you, dear.
Thank you, teacher, for your nice words. Is my voice audible to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for those nice, kind words about me. It was the longest introduction to me which I have ever heard of. Usually, I'm introduced in a very brief manner. Like here is Dr. Thara. She is a disaster. That's the shortest introduction which I have always been addressed to. I think we have only very limited time, so let me go. I welcome to all the members, and I'm so happy to be here with you to share some ideas, some views about climate change and how is it related to women in particular, and how does it affect what differential impact it has on the women in general, and some certain things which we can take as a way forward, maybe from now on. Since you are a collective and you are into various activities of women empowerment and protection of environment also can be part of your activities as well. So let me go to the presentation now. I'm trying to share my slide. If it is visible, please tell me so.
Yes.
Yes, it is visible. You can put it in slideshow mode.
Yes, I know. I've been doing this. So
now it is visible very clearly.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, let me start with the question. What is the greatest disaster humanity ever had to face post-corona? And the answer would be maybe some of you might say that it is the cyclone, some of you might say that it is the flood, or maybe drought, so on and so forth. But in my opinion, the greatest disaster humanity ever had to face is the post-corona Zoom meets and webinars, because you don't come into contact with any of your audience. I mean, the speaker will be on one side, who may or may not be visible to the audience, and there is absolutely no interaction. And the hapless victims have been the student community. But anyway, the only advantage of Zoom meets is that we need to take care only of the upper part of the body. That is the only advantage of Zoom meets and webinars. Anyway, that is on a lighter side. When we talk about climate change, we are aware that in the recent past, we are witnessing a sudden increase in the intensity and magnitude of climate-related events, be it cyclones or flood or drought. These are always on the increasing trend. And there is absolutely no doubt that the most important global challenge that we are facing, especially with regard to environment and humanity, is nothing but the climate change and its impact. We already are aware that in Canada and United States, they have just witnessed very extreme cold climate, and snow accumulated to even 18 feet. and people died. Many people died inside the cars because they were not able to escape from the cars. And this is a restaurant in New York, which is fully covered with, icicles. And there is also the same kind of reports coming from Russia. Russia, there is a small village called Oymyakon. It's a very, village, small village in Russia, where the temperature has gone down to minus 62 degrees Celsius. And the temperature is that low, so low that even the eyelashes, eyelashes of people, it got frozen. And subsequently, there are medical reports that people are suffering from, eye problems and visibility problems, so on and so forth. And Sahara Desert, which is very famous for its high temperature and arid climate, lack of rain, they are witnessing now heavy rain. In some parts, they are witnessing heavy rain. And even the camel, which is not used to cold climate, is now, seem to be enjoying the snowfall. And even in Munnar, in Kerala, snowfall has been reported recently. The last 20 years, the climate-related events, if you look at the number, it has gone from 59 to 820. So such a rise in the number of events that we have been witnessing over the last maybe 2 decades. And 45,000 people are being killed per annum. And climate, if you look at the climate risk index, this is a report from 2022. India is the 5th most affected country in the world. There are 180 countries in the world, and Japan stands first. And we are occupying the 5th position. And there is only one administrator who seems to be saying that, seem to have said that climate change is fabulous. Any guess? None other than the former US President, Mr. Trump. We don't have to take his words very seriously because he is the one and only politician, I think, who suggested that if these Dettol, washing your hands with Dettol can kill the germs, why not inject yourself with Dettol? And what followed was that Dettol company had to call back all its, all the bottles which they had sold out into the market, and then put an additional slip cautioning people not to drink or inject this disinfectant. So that is how, politicians have been acting across the world. And we know that global warming since 1990, if you look at the numbers, there has been only an average increase of 0.7 degrees Celsius, not even 1 degree Celsius. So even then, even now, we know that how severe this temperature increase has been, because especially in Kerala, which has been enjoying a very pleasant climate. Now there is a yellow alert issue today that Trivandrum is going to experience up to 35 degrees Celsius, and some of the northern districts the temperature might go up to even 37 degrees Celsius. So average temperature has increased only up to 0.7 degrees Celsius, but even now we are finding it intolerable. So what is the prediction for the next 100 years? The next 100 years is that by about 2100, the temperature increase, average temperature increase will be 6.4 degrees Celsius. So imagine the kind of problems that we all are going to face. We may not live up to see or witness this in 2100, but our children or maybe our grandchildren, they would definitely be there to witness this situation. So in what way this is going to affect the human beings and especially the women? This is a temperature map of the countries. Every region in the world is seeing irreversible climatic changes. Wherever you see a red color, I'll go for this pointer option. Just one sec. Wherever you see this dark red color, these are all regions which are going to face extreme high temperature. And look at Kerala, it is slightly yellowish in color. The only reason why Kerala is able to survive, to a great extent, or maybe withstand this temperature increase, which is being experienced by other parts of the country, is that we are being protected by the Western Ghats. Western Ghats act as a barrier for this, protecting us from this climatic variations, and it also gives us copious amount of rainfall. So our first and foremost the duty is that we take measures to protect this geographical, barrier which is protecting us from the severe climatic conditions. And but anyway, we will come to this aspect later. And the interesting fact, or maybe the worrying fact, is that we have just 12 more years to keep the temperature controlled, not to exceed 1.5 degrees Celsius rise in temperature. So we know that all the IPCC, Intergovernmental Panel on Climatic Change, they have been discussing about how to keep the increase in temperature well within 1.5 degrees Celsius. That, because if it crosses 2 degrees Celsius, then no life on Earth is possible. And again, to reiterate, this has become the most important environmental challenge that we are facing today. What are the impacts? On one side, it leads to heavy rainfall, and subsequently we also are witnessing floods. And we have witnessed in the recent past Uttarakhand floods, which was followed by 2018 Kerala floods, so on and so forth. We have been witnessing increasing number of floods. And in 2018, what was the predicted excess of rainfall? Indian Meteorological Department predicted only 3% of excess rainfall. But what did we receive? We received 96% excess of rainfall. What was the result? 13 out of 14 districts were submerged underwater. That was, and we know the rest of the story, how we had to survive. And talking about floods, this is on one side, the climatic variations are manifested in the form of floods. On the other hand, it's also manifested in the form of drought or scarcity of drinking water. So let us talk about floods first. When you look at the casualties or number of victims, it is women and children who are being affected most. 1991 cyclones, if you look at the numbers, 140,000 people were killed in Bangladesh, 90% were women. In Kerala, if you look at the cases of drowning, 60% are women. What are the reasons for that? One reason could be that the traditional dress and the long hair, right? Some way it restricts the easy movement of women, and it's not very conducive for swimming also. And many women do not know swimming. I do not know how many of you know swimming. There's no way I can interact with you, so I just have to keep on asking questions, and maybe we can devote the last 10 minutes to interactions. And many women do not know swimming, and many girls or women, they can't climb trees also. And another reason is that many of the women, because of their traditional, these roles that they have been playing, they are considered as the caregivers and caretakers. So many of the women stayed behind to look after their family members. That way they increase their vulnerability. And we still have, the society still has this perception that, the body of a woman is not to be exposed. And it's kind of a private thing which needs to be need not be exposed in public. But if you look at the reasons for this increasing number of incidents of drowning, this traditional clothing, the sari, it runs to about 5.5 meters. This traditional clothing inhibit your running capability or your swimming capability, even if you know swimming. And it is interesting to just observe how the even this traditional sari itself has, undergone kind of evolution. And maybe 50 years ago or maybe 80 years ago, women were forced to wear 18-meter long saris. This is what the Maharashtrians they used to wear. It used to run to 18 meters. Just imagine 3 times what we are wearing now. And now, people have started to change their perception, and youngsters are bold enough to experiment with even with the traditional saris. And Mysore noble women, aristocratic women, they were supposed to wear 6 meters of saris, and these traditional roles as mothers and family caregivers and responsibility of their dependents. We know that it enhances risk. So apart from their not knowing how to swim, this also increases their risk during flood. So what are the options? When we talk about the problems, we are supposed to be talking about the solutions also. The one and only solution is that we all should teach them young. It doesn't mean that when you become old, you should not learn to swim, because I think I am a good example, because I learned swimming after I retired. And the main issue in the pool where I went, it's a natural pond here itself in PTP Nagar, and they were first reluctant to admit women. They said that it's an open air swimming pool, so many of the local people may not find it very pleasant to have women swimming in the pool. And then we all insisted, and there were 10 women with me, and we all went to the office people, and we insisted that we should be given a chance to learn swimming. And then the next problem was what to wear, because we had to find a dress which will cover the body, and then which will give us mobility also. And then we came across something called as burkini. It's kind of a burqa, but it's a swimsuit. Cost is very, very cheap, maybe around 500 rupees or 600 rupees. And we started with 10 people, and then it started to slowly grow. And ultimately, we ended up in a situation where we had 40 number of women and girls, mostly from the poor, this background, who were not able to go to other swimming pools and pay a heavy fees. So we started, whoever had learned it first with a tutor, we started to give them lessons, and then there was a group of 40 women who could survive in water. And Asianet was the first media to cover this news. I'll show that clipping later. And there is also an interesting, very breaking story of how this, concept about nudity and how the reluctance of the society accepting the nudity of women as a normal thing has, very seriously affected the lives of people in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, there is a small district called as Batikola, and the cyclone hit the district when 8 women were bathing in a small, pond. And during cyclone, we all know that the water level in all the water bodies, will keep on increasing. And there was also an American woman photographer with them, just talking to them while she was on the shore. And these 8 women were taking bath along with their children. And the cyclone started to, blow, and there was heavy rain and also strong winds. And this photographer was urging the women to, come out of water and escape and run to safety. But unfortunately, the dresses of these women, they just it was caught in the strong wind, and they were so hesitant to come out of water without any dress that they preferred to stay inside the water, in the water. And they were first holding them, their babies in their hands, and then when the water level started to increase, they held them on their shoulders and on their head, so on and so forth. And they all preferred to stay in water because they were so afraid to come out of water without any dress. Just imagine that anyone who will, consider their nudity far more important than their own life. So unfortunately, in the Indian system, we, or society in general, they are not very positive or not very open in accepting nudity of women. And in a life-threatening situation also, this is the same thing, same kind of attitude. So all the 8 women died holding their children, 5 children and 8 women. And this photographer, American photographer, that took a last snap while she was running to safety. And this became the cover picture of an international report on gender issues in disaster situations. Anyway, this is the news coverage. This is me, and there were 40 young girls and women who could utilize this facility. But unfortunately, this pool is now closed due to some political issues. And in 2004 tsunami, also 70 to 80% of women died because they didn't know how to survive. It's very difficult to survive a tsunami, but many people in Tamil Nadu, they had many women, especially they had the skill to climb trees, and they could escape the tsunami waves because they climbed onto the coconut trees. And talking about this life-saving skills, you generally are more tolerant to boys climbing the trees, but when it comes to girls or women, we are a bit hesitant to accept it as a normal thing. So this increases the vulnerability of women because they lack life-saving skills like climbing the trees or swimming in water. And when you look at the causes that leads to their increasing vulnerability, the causes are more cultural than biological or physiological reasons. We often hear people say that the women are not as strong as the men. It's not so. So, but when you look at the reasons, it is more cultural than biological or physiological reasons. And it's also very important that we teach them at a young age, or maybe at a later stage also, these first aid techniques, because anyway the number of incidents of disasters are on the increase, especially in our state. So how to rescue a drowning a person who has been rescued from drowning. The moment we bring them onto the shore, we have to administer some kind of first aid. Any idea? Can you suggest any one of the audience tell me what is the first thing that you would do if you rescue a drowning person? Because we have been reading in the newspaper number of incidents where people are drowned, and only a very small percentage of them can be rescued. But if at all they are rescued, they unless you administer the first aid, they are not likely to survive. So what is the first thing that you would do? Can anyone tell me, please? Sorry?
Administer the CPR.
CPR, okay.
No, water. I think the water should be.
Take out the water.
You have to?
That should be.
Try to take out the water from the lungs and all that by pressing on the back, like the way it is being done in the picture.
Okay, I can't see who is giving me, who is answering, because this is in a full screen mode. But anyway, I'll respond to the last answer. Somebody said that you have to press the stomach so that the water from the lungs will can be expelled. Is it not so?
Not the stomach, backside, on the back.
Okay, backside, you have to keep pressing. Actually, this is a very wrong concept of first aid. In fact, by doing this, you can even put the life of the rescued person in danger, because you know that there are two passages here. One is foot pipe and the other is windpipe. When the person is resting either on his back or on his or her stomach, the victim is unconscious, so she or he is not able to spit out whatever water we are expelling from the stomach by pressing either the back or the stomach. It will come to the throat, and the patient is unconscious, she or he is not able to spit it out. So what will it do? The water which comes out through the food pipe up to the throat level will go, there is a chance that it will enter the air passage and it will directly go to the lung. So you are actually increasing, we are all actually increasing the chances of survival of a person by pressing either the back or the stomach. So unless the patient is finding it extremely difficult to breathe on his own or her own, we need not touch the stomach. Yeah. That is the main thing that we have to remember, especially in a drowning rescue case.
But that's why, that is what we always see.
Absolutely.
see.
In all the documentaries, in all the serials, in all the films or cinema, wherever you witness this drowning or maybe rescuing, this is the first thing that they show, that once they are rescued, people are sitting on their stomach and then trying to, push the water out. This is a wrong practice, and this itself can endanger the life of a victim. And capacity building of women and girls also can be by teaching them what is the recovery posture in a rescued person once you rescue a person from the water. We should not keep them either on their stomach or on their back. We have to keep them on their side. Let them turn to one side with one leg folded like this. This is a very convenient posture. That is why we keep them, keep one of the legs in a folded manner, and just raise the legs so that the head level is lower than the rest of the body. What is the reason to keep this the posture inclined? The water which is stored inside, the excessive water which is inside the stomach will automatically flow through the mouth. We don't have to press either the stomach or the back. So turn the patient to one side and raise the legs so that the head is lower than the rest of the body. That is what we call as the recovery posture. And there are also innovative ideas, because I don't know how many of you know swimming, but if you don't know, these are the options. A person who cannot afford to buy a life buoy can also go for innovative ideas like empty kerosene cans, 5-liter or 10-liter cans. 10-liter cans will be sufficient to hold an adult. It can keep afloat an adult person. And keeping, this is a computer bag, laptop bag, and keeping empty plastic bottles inside it, maybe 10 or 12 plastic bottles inside the computer bag, and then holding it close to, or maybe if you put the straps on, it can also keep you floated. And this is another example how this is a rope is tied to one of the cans. It goes around and it is tied to the other can. This is a 10-liter kerosene can, and this also can keep you afloat. So these are the innovative options that we can try out in the case of people who cannot afford to buy life buoys. And we also know that now the cyclones are on the increase. Just 1 day ago, Bangladesh had experienced a super cyclone, severe cyclone, and the wind speed was around to 30 kilometers per hour. So we also need to teach them as to teach the community especially the women, as to there was a. I'm trying to. There's a small video. This is a small video of cyclone Varda. And look at, I mean, this will give you a picture of how severe a wind during cyclone can be. This watchman is waving at the driver, asking him to go by, just cross the gate. But because of the heavy wind and the rain, the driver is losing control and slowly starts to turn to one side. And people are trying to rescue them. And one mistake that these people are committing is that without holding on to any anchor, people, these people are just rushing to help the passengers. They are just rushing out, and they are exposing themselves to the heavy wind and the heavy rain. And then later on, I think after some time, they realize that keeping themselves anchored to something will increase their, will decrease their chances of being, drifted away in the wind. So they get hold of a sari and then tie it to some pole here, and then holding on to the sari, they are trying to reach the bus and save the passengers. So these are the things which we have to always remember. I just want to share a few tips so that, being in Kerala, we have to be very concerned about flood and also cyclones. And now what we may have to face in future, maybe within the next 5 or 10 years, maybe severe drought-like conditions. Scarcity of water will be very, very high, maybe within the next 5 to 10 years. And in all the disasters, natural disasters, be it flood or cyclones, most of the people may have to face medical situations like diarrhea, because there will not be any clean water or safe water available for drinking. So the first casualty is, that people will be forced to drink unsafe water and leading to diarrhea. And the shops will not be open at that time. So we may have to learn how to prepare ORS solutions at home. These packets are available in the shops, medical shops, but the shops also may not be open during a cyclone. So what is the best way to prepare an ORS solution at home is that you take 5 cups, that is approximately 1 liter of water, and 6 teaspoons of sugar and half a teaspoon of salt, and 15 minutes boiling. Then it becomes equivalent to an ORS solution, which we get in a packet from a medical store. So 5 cups, 6 teaspoons of sugar, half a teaspoon of salt, and you have to boil it for 15 minutes. And cyclones, we also have to be aware of what are the do's and don'ts. Most of the youngsters have a tendency to, film everything by taking selfies. It's not at all safe to go to the terrace during a cyclone, because the winds are very strong, and running to 230 kilometers per hour speed winds, it's very risky. So never ever go to the terrace and expose yourself to high risk. And these warnings are usually given 2-3 days in advance. IMD, Indian Meteorological Department, is very accurate in giving cyclone warnings. So you can start by charging your mobile phones and keep all the emergency numbers ready, store water for 3 days, store food for 2 weeks, keep an emergency bag of essentials, which the government has been repeatedly reminding all of us. But I doubt whether any one of us have this bag of essentials even now at home. So it will be a good idea to keep one bag ready, considering the increasing probability of disasters. Especially we are entering the month of June. In June, July, we are likely to face all these problems, cyclones and also heavy rain. If the house is not safe, move to a higher ground. Close all doors and windows. Switch off all the electric main. Just before the cyclone, you switch off the electric main. Switch off the regulator of gas. And do not stand on rooftop or terrace. These are the things which we have to remember while the wind is blowing. The cyclonic wind is blowing. And we are also talking about, we have seen that the temperature is on the rise. We are already experiencing 35 degrees Celsius temperature in Trivandrum. So one possibility is that we may be exposed to sunstroke, even at inside the room, or maybe if you are exposed to temperature outside the house also. These are the possibilities. What will be the first aid that you will do? Can any one of you share your viewpoints? What way you will respond to that situation? Suppose you get the feeling that you yourself are facing some kind of these sunstroke issues, or you are likely to face this issue, or you are observing that your neighbor or your any person on the street is having this problem. In what way we can respond?
Stand under the shower. Stand under the shower. Stand under the shower.
Stand under the shower. That's a good option. Then
take that particular person to a shade.
Sorry?
Take that particular person to a shade under a tree or something.
Under the tree or in a shade. Move the person. Excellent. So I move the person to a shade or under the tree. These are two. Sorry?
Give a drink immediately.
Yeah, give them
some buttermilk.
Plain water, not any soft drinks, but plain water. So
Buttermilk,
that's another option.
Buttermilk?
But
Plain
always
water.
remember that, sorry?
Plain water.
Plain water. But always
How about
remember that
buttermilk,
if
ma'am? I
the
just
patient
want
is
to ask you.
unconscious. The patient is unconscious. Never ever force the water, any kind of drink, because you again run the risk of when you forcefully give water to a patient who is unconscious, the patient doesn't have any control over where the water should go. There are two pipes, foot pipe and the wind pipe. So when you are forcing the water down, it accidentally can go into the lungs, thus increasing the risk or lessening the chances of survival. So the best thing would be to wait till the patient regains his or her consciousness. And otherwise, the other options are to keep them, just pour some water and then keep them, move them to a shade under the tree. And 25,000 people have died since 2010. Just imagine a huge number of people are dying on the street, especially this Manrega, Mahatma Gandhi, this rural employment scheme persons, rickshaw pullers and traffic policemen or people who are forced to work in the
In the sunlight.
Open, they are subjected to, they
Sun.
are very vulnerable. So I just want to give you some suggestions about what is the best way you can keep bring the temperature down very quickly. One option is to apply cold compression. Cold compression is that you just wet a towel and then or maybe a kerchief or something, I mean a piece of cloth which is folded into 3 or 4 times. This can be kept on either side of the neck and in the groin area and under the arms also. These are the areas where if you apply cold compression, the temperature will automatically come down very quickly. So it is far more effective than wetting the entire body. So a groin area here and on both sides of the neck and underarm. That is the first thing that we should do. And keeping the patient under the fan or keeping their legs raised above the head level. These are other options, and give them fluids only when they regain their consciousness. And when we are talking about the capacity building of women and girls, we also have to be aware of the gender division of labor. I mean, usually it is a woman whom we expect to act as the caregiver or providing food for the rest of the family. And who does what is actually determined by your culture or societal norms. While it is very, common or normal for maybe a European or Western male to look after the kids, it may not be now. These things are changing now, but society has not advanced enough to view this as a normal thing even now. And post-disaster situations, most of the job employment opportunities are also highly technical in nature, maybe the plumber or electrician. These require some kind of technical skills. But we rarely find any woman electrician or plumber. And I do not know your area of activities. I mean, but if you can think of any program where you can maybe girls from economically weaker section background, and if you can raise some money and then help them to go for electrician course or maybe plumbing courses, then that would be a great thing to do. And we still can't find these women to, whenever we talk about social rehabilitation programs, post-disaster rehabilitation programs, still have a tendency to view pickle making or garment making as the best option for women. But it is high time that we make these women capable of taking care of the technical things as well. And people have been changing. I mean, we know that the society is also evolving, and without waiting for any of the policy interventions, these women, I mean, they are showing us examples as to how we should progress. Rekha is a Malayali woman, and she remains the only woman in India who goes into the deep sea for fishing. Usually it is considered as a male job, but she's the only Malayali in Keralite who is, I mean, a woman who is going into the deep sea for fishing. So, and these people are showing us examples, but still we have to come out of this kind of perceptions. This is a picture of a school uniform that a private school in Kottayam, they have insisted on wearing the girls students in 8th standard to wear this overcoat, so-called overcoat. Hideous. And we have a tendency to, we are trained to look at the body of a woman as what should I say? As a private entity to be kept away from the the public gaze, and the woman, the chest of a woman is usually there's a kind of perception that it is a sexual organ, and we are talking about a situation where the global warming, the temperature is increasing, and we are talking about a situation where the temperature will go up to about 6.4 degrees Celsius in the next 100 years, hardly 80 more years to go. And we are forcing them, the girl students, to wear a number of additional layers of clothes, like a dupatta or a shimmy, and then underneath a brassiere, everything 5 times than what a male counterpart will have to wear. And this is so unhealthy in the case of a girl child. And we ask them, we force them to wear a dupatta over their chest, because the perception is that it is a sexual organ. Woman, the breast of a woman is considered as a sexual organ. But I've often wondered why we don't insist that a piece of clothes should be worn by the male counterpart just above his, these trousers. We do not insist this kind of thing on the male students. So I think it's a question of our perception, changing our perception. And one good example which we can quote from Kerala is Valayan Chirangara LP School near Kozhikode, where they have gone for gender neutral uniform. But there are still people, objecting to this, and then many people are supporting. But anyway, I think we have to slowly go for this kind of awareness building. This is an example of gender neutral uniforms. And it's all apart from waiting for, or apart from struggling, or maybe advocating for policy changes with regard to gender equality and gender going for programs promoting gender awareness, we also have to confront the discrimination by boycotting programs where we do not see any woman participation. Look at the maybe on the dais when we go for any kind of programs, the number of women on the stage is either nil or maybe a handful. And if you talk about a panel discussion also, she's the one and only woman participant, and there is an anchor. So 3:1, that is the usual ratio that we see. Please, we can have 50% of participation. We can we should be asking for more participation. We should insist on equal participation, or maybe a greater participation, and we should start boycotting this such kind of programs where the woman participation is kept to a minimum. And we have a beautiful earth. We all know that we have inherited a beautiful planet where all the greenery and all the rivers, everything is there. And we have a natural protecting system like the Earth's atmosphere. It consists of 78% of nitrogen, 21% of oxygen to breathe, and just 0.03% of carbon dioxide, because it is not very conducive for our healthy existence. But the plants do need carbon dioxide, but it is only 0.03% in the atmosphere, and it provides, all these gases provide a kind of insulation, protecting us from the UV, ultraviolet radiation. It traps the heat, and then it reflects back some portion, and some of the portions it is being retained here. That is how the earth is kept warm enough for the life to survive. If all the UV radiations have been reflecting back into the atmosphere, the Earth's surface would have been minus 20 degrees Celsius. That is, ice forms at minus 0 degrees Celsius. So if it minus 20 degrees Celsius means no life would have been possible on Earth. So the presence of the carbon dioxide and other gases, greenhouse gases, to some extent is helpful. But the problem is that now the carbon dioxide has increased by 42%. Now it is 387 parts per million. That is such a high number. And we are also adding to the greenhouse gases by increasing the number of industries. Ever since we started this industrialization in the 80s, the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere has increased, and we are adding to the problem by purchasing more and more air conditioners. The gas which comes out of these air conditioners, that again increases the temperature, and the gas which comes out of the refrigerator, that again increases the temperature. So it's kind of you are keep on adding to the problem with your existing problem, and you're not going for any proactive solutions. And industrial pollution has reached such a great extent that there is no comeback. I mean, very difficult to find a solution. And vehicular pollution also is on the increase, because the number of vehicles on the road has increased manyfold. And in addition to all these existing problems, we are also burning the plastics, and plastic consumption has gone out of proportion. Man is the only animal who is destroying his own abode, a habitat. This is a picture taken from one of the Trivandrum, one of the areas in Trivandrum city. And look at this nest, how clean and neat and tidy the bird has kept its nest. Other than the eggs, which needs to be hatched, absolutely nothing else. Not even a single, piece of paper or a plastic straw, nothing. Just the eggs and the nest. But look at, in comparison, what man has done or is doing is something which, is unpardonable. And what can we do is that we should also create an awareness about reducing our plastic footprint. For example, if we conduct a survey in maybe all the members who have assembled here, just take a note of how many plastics per month we are, producing, like we are contributing, not producing, but contributing to the waste. Maybe it is a soap cover, or maybe the milk cover, or maybe the covers, which plastic covers the groceries, which when you buy the groceries also you get some plastic covers. Just keep a count of all the plastic covers that you bring into your home, and then how much we are contributing to the plastic wastage. And there is absolutely no system whereby we can recycle these plastic packages. Only a minute percentage of all these plastic goes into the recycling mode. So, and we are all aware of the Ganga sacred water. The Puranic stories also pay good tribute to Ganga and the Ganga river. Just a drop of water is sufficient to, remove all your sins, past life and then present life, so on and so forth. And this Namami Ganga program in 2015, it started. 20,000 crore is the total allocation. 475 crores of rupees have already been pumped into rejuvenation of Ganga, and this is the situation now. After spending 475 crore rupees, this is the situation of Ganga water. People say that just a drop of water from Ganga is, is good enough to remove all your sins. But just imagine drinking this water. So it no longer is sacred. It no longer is safe to drink this water. And how much money is being pumped into this? And it is we who is destroying all the existing, safe water. And then we lament, saying that no water is available, and we talk about drought situations. United Nations Environment Program, they have already warned that in 2020 that by about 2030 there will not be 2050, that is 30 years from now, there will not be a drop of water to drink. So it's our duty to save every drop of water. And women are, what is the differential impact that we have to face is that women in general in any household, they are supposed to be responsible for accessing the drinking water, and then cooking and cleaning and washing, everything is still considered as the responsibility of women. So we have to create an awareness, especially to, about the danger that we are likely to face 30 years from now. And what is the solution? Protect local water resources. And if the group who is listening to me have got any kind of programs wherein you can involve in any local kind of activities, maybe restoration of an existing pond or anything like that. I'm sorry, I didn't get time to ask for details about what are the activities and what are the options for future programs, but I'm just giving some, sharing some suggestions and some views. And solution is to protect the local water resources and rejuvenate the existing water bodies. And we all always say that saving water is very essential, do not waste water. But how much water is being wasted every day through the old pipes and irrigation, or the this water authority pipes, is 303 crore liters of water per day is simply being wasted. And Tamil Nadu, they have gone ahead so far by constructing rain pits and rejuvenating the underground water. They have a very clear mitigation plan, because they don't get as much rain as we people get. So their three-pronged target is reduce, recharge, and recycle. So they've gone in a huge, large-scale construction of rain pits. So rain pits are scientifically dug, and then rainwater is collected. It oozes down and forms a part of the groundwater table. This kind of like a bank, wherein you can access your savings bank anytime when you during an emergency, you can go to the bank and get the money. This water will be stored beneath the ground. And anytime you want this water, you can access it through dug wells or bore wells, so on and so forth. And Kerala is also not very far behind. We are also collecting water wherever we possible. And conservation of water. One famous example is conservation of water in the railway, station in Tampanur itself. Every rainy season, we talk about this flooded railway platforms. And by destroying the existing water resources, we are also putting other animals into trouble. These elephants, they require 152 liters of water per day. And they are coming into the habitations, like wherever the human settlements are now, people, there are increasing incidents of wild animal conflicts. Why are they coming to these villages? Is in search of food and water. They don't have anything to eat in the forest area. They are Arikomban is a very famous example. They don't have anything else, that they have started to eat raw rice. Just imagine an elephant eating raw rice. That's why it gets a name Arikomban. So in search of food and water, and these people have been rehabilitated in elephant corridors. They used to frequent this area in search of food and water. They used to come to this area, and people have been rehabilitated exactly in this elephant corridors. So naturally, they can't forget their, where they have been going for water. They can't forget the way where they have been going for food. So they will come in search of food and water, and these wild animal conflicts are on the increase. And only option is to provide them some kind of source for water, and also plant more fruit trees in the border. That's the only option. And this is a very heartbreaking video of a small squirrel. Many of you might have, at least some of you might have seen this video. This person is having a water bottle, and this squirrel is like, begging for water. And we have destroyed all their water resources, and then we can't go to the shop and buy things. Just a heartbreaking video. It looks like it is begging for water, and this person has been kind enough to provide some water. So I'm almost on the, nearing the last slide. And one good option is to plant trees or small, even shrubs will be helpful, because any tree or plant or grass can hold 96 times its mass. It can hold water 96 times its mass. So even a small grass can hold water 96 times its mass. So that is exactly the reason why, and they also hold on to the soil, thus reducing the soil erosion. That is the reason why China has gone in a dramatically, big way to plant trees wherever is possible. Wherever they get a space, they plant trees. Because many of these plants, they are converting the cities into forest. These are called as forest cities. This is an example from China. These plants and trees will absorb water and hold the water, and that way reducing the water which will be during flood season, the reducing the water which will go to the roads. So flooding is reduced, and temperature is reduced because plants and trees will absorb carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is the villain, most important villain they have a villainous role in increasing the temperature. So plants and trees absorb carbon dioxide and reduce the temperature. So it has two advantages. One is reducing the flood and reducing the heat. And in what way we people are doing this mitigation? We are clearing all the tropical forest. 30% is all 30% of the tropical forest is already cleared, and now we are again going ahead with other developmental projects, destroying the rest of the greenery also. And what the other side of cutting down trees is that it increases the air pollution. Apart from the pollution from vehicles and industries, cutting down trees also is contributing to the pollution. And most polluted cities in the world, we can proudly say that it is in India, and 15,000 babies prematurely die because of air pollution. See, look at the world's most polluted cities list. Delhi, India; Patna, that again is in India; Gwalior, that is in India. Like that, the 10 or 12 places, first 10 or 12 places belong to cities in India. This is a world, list of cities in the world, most polluted cities, and we tend to occupy the first rank. In China also, there is a similar problem of air pollution, and they have built the world's biggest air purifier, tallest air purifier. This tallest air purifier in the world is built by the Chinese people. It can clear the air around 300-kilometer area radius. So this is an engineering marvel which the Chinese people have done. And what we people have, we are not far behind them, no less than the Chinese people. When they built the tallest air purifier in the world, we built the tallest statue in the world. The amount is only 3,000 crore rupees, so not a huge amount. But we also have the same problem, or maybe in a far more severe issue. And remember that when we are spending this much money on a statue, 3,000 crore rupees, if you look at the UN Hunger Index, out of the 119 nations, we are in the last, rank, like 103. That means that a large proportion of the percentage of our population is still are feeling hungry. And Kerala is also, unfortunately, going ahead with programs, developmental programs, which are not environmentally sustainable. One example is the Silver Line project, 64,000 crore rupees. We still do not know whether it has been, abandoned or still in the, pipeline. But anyway, if it gets implemented, it will be environmentally the most disastrous project that we can ever think of. And how we spend our money is also very important. And recently, central government also has, sanctioned 22,000 crore rupees for demolishing all these buildings. This is a beautiful heritage building where I have gone several times for meetings. Ministry of Home Affairs and disaster management comes under Ministry of Home Affairs. These beautiful heritage buildings are going to be destroyed and demolished, and new buildings are going to be built in this shape. So I just can't find any reason. I mean, I can justify why this should be the priority of any government to siphon off 22,000 crore rupees for building, demolishing an existing building and building a new one. Anyway, we are also contributing. Our nation is very famous for festival seasons, and be it any political function or any program, we go for this fire works and also, I mean, similar programs. It adds to the respiratory problems. Cough and asthma is on the increase, especially after a Deepavali time. It results in eye damages, and we are not confining the damaging effect only to human beings. Many of the small birds die out of shock. They are not used to this loud music. So any Deepavali season immediately after this, many of them, they don't have any name. They are not in the electoral list. So we don't come to, see their reports in any of the media. But the crows, pigeons, and sparrows, they often are being treated for respiratory problems, and they die out of shock. And then the dogs, we also know that dogs' hearing ability is 10 times that of human beings. So they get so scared during these, fireworks and, similar festival seasons. And we are not only destroying their habitat, our own habitat, we are destroying their habitat. And by about 2050, 1 million species will just disappear. And who will remain? Only human beings will remain in this world. And there is two kind of, approach to nature and human beings, like anthropocentrism and biocentrism. Anthropocentrism means we consider the human beings as the supreme, whereby all other animals are to be, they have a subjugate role, and we have the authority to decide what their fate should be it any animal. And biocentrism means we are just one of the several millions of animal or plant or bird species on the earth, and we don't have any special status. So intelligent or wise people, they all go for biocentrism, but majority, I think, they still go for this anthropocentrism. One good example of how we are linked to other animal species or maybe plant species is the disappearance of bush frog. 87 species of bush frog have been reported to be extinct, especially after 2018 flood in Kerala. What relation does it have to our existence? Is that WHO, World Health Organization, have reported that wherever the frog population has come down, these green areas, wherever the frog population has come down, there has been increasing incidence of chikungunya, malaria, and dengue fever. Because we know that the frogs, they eat mosquitoes. So there is some kind of a relationship between the decrease in their population and increase of dengue fever. This is very clearly seen. In 2019, dengue cases up from 177 to 423. It is not, the only reason is not this. We know that there are other reasons, but this could also be a contributing factor. And we also have to, when we talk about women and environment, we also have to fight against superstitions. This is a report from Madhya Pradesh. 2018, Madhya Pradesh chief minister was the then chief minister, because there was lack of rain and a lot of farmers were facing critical situations. There is a belief, superstition, that if you marry two frogs, then there will be good rain. So the chief minister, you can just search search Google and find reports about this. Married to frogs. This is the tali, that is tied onto the female frog, but not a single drop of rain they could experience. It all rained in Kerala because these two frogs, after marriage, they came to, it seems that they have come to Kerala for a honeymoon. And there was a troll saying that Madhya Pradeshil Mazhaveyikkan Kalyanam Kalpicha Tavalakal honeymoon Keralathil vannittundengil ഉടൻ തിരിച്ചു പോകണം ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് മഴ മതിയായി, because we were experiencing such severe floods that this is a troll regarding this. And conservation of nature should be our first and foremost goal. And we know that in deep forest, thick forest area, lot of coal deposits. In India, we are very famous for coal deposits. Most of the electricity is being generated from coal, which is in deep forest area. But unfortunately, these coal mines are being leased out to private agencies. 5 to 10, it is lease time also is increased from 5 to 10 years. 41 is already auctioned. 500 coal mines are in the list of being sold to private agencies. What are the repercussions? Once you enter into the deep forest area, you are being exposed. You are exposing yourself to, this animal zoonotic diseases. Zoonotic diseases means any disease which you are likely to get from animals. And this could be, there is also a report of zoonotic disease. Ebola is one of the deadliest zoonotic disease, which was reported many years ago. It was also reported that this might have spread on to the human beings because some people have consumed the meat of a wild civet. This could be one of the source. And WHO cautions warns that once you enter into the deep forest area, be it for felling trees or maybe for coal mining, you are taking pathogens, fungi or insects with you. And zoonotic diseases are to increase by 30%. And we know that there are 100 billion galaxies in the universe. 1 billion is 100 crores. So 100 into 100, 10,000 crores of galaxies in the universe. And our Milky Way is the smallest, galaxy that we are aware of. Human beings were the last come into this world. All the other animals, all the other plants, even the crow or the spider, everything came before us. It belongs. So the earth as a home belongs to them. And we came only, towards the last. And I'm sharing a photograph of some of the stray dogs which we have rescued from the street, on sometimes from the market, or from sometimes from the from the street. They're all here with us even now. Shangu, Shangarangatti. Thursday is she is no more. She came here on Thursday, so she is named. So, and we also have to be less invasive. When we use a plastic pen, we are putting pressure on the environment. So shift to ink pen. When we are using these toilet paper, not toilet paper, but paper napkins, it has become the common fashion to use this paper napkins wherever you go, marriage function or reception function, you come across this paper napkins. 48 fully grown trees are to be, cut down to make 500 rolls of these paper napkins. Use a handkerchief instead. So these are the personal options. These are the personal options that we can go for. Stop using tiles in your premises. And not much has been changed. I mean, we have the only, even the looks, it doesn't, not much of change. But we came into this earth only 15 to 24 lakh years ago. And human species itself has undergone several evolutions. Scientifically, it has been proven that all our ancestors came from South Africa. They traveled to various parts of the world. And these ancestors, our ancestors, came to India around 70,000 years ago. So if you trace our forefathers, we may have to go and we may end up in South Africa. And there was an interesting report from University of St. Andrews that children aged 1 to 2 years use 52 gestures, which are so common to what the apes do, similar gestures. And it's very clear that our we have something in common with our ancestors. And it's absolutely, when we talk about our ancestors, we all came from the same ancestors, and there is nothing called as being born as a Hindu or as a Muslim or as a Christian, because we have a common ancestor. And unfortunately, 58 deaths per month have been reported in the period, during the period 2011 to 2015, 3,368 incidents, whereby because of intolerance to other communities, people have killed each other. And we are intolerant to people, we are intolerant to other animals, we are intolerant to birds. But this is my last slide. This is a video of a wild bear. We know that bears are not being, they are not domesticated. So just look at what the bear is doing. It is walking past a traffic cone. Just look at that video. I mean, not only that it puts it straight, it is using, it doesn't have any fingers. It doesn't, so it can't hold on to the traffic cone and put it straight. So it is using its, nose, snout to put it straight. I'll just show it once again. Look at how it puts it straight, no words to describe this video. They are definitely better than us, and let us at least try to be like them. That is my last slide. I'm so thankful to each one of you for giving me this opportunity to share some ideas. I don't know to what extent you are free to take up programs like rejuvenation of ponds, or maybe building awareness, or maybe helping them financially to go for swimming classes. But I leave the option open to all of you, each one of you. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you to teacher, Kamini teacher specifically for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Thara. It has been elaborate, vast, beautiful presentation. Thank you. And you have covered a vast topic in a short time, in the simplest manner, I should say. And as you said, women still need training in various other things, equivalent to male things. Anyway, I call upon Bhuvaneshwari Ravindran. She is a member in charge for climatic change in AIWC. I would like her to say a few words.
Thank you.
Kekkannilla, Thara. Bhuvaneshwari?
Okay.
Okay.
I was muted.
Dr. Thara, you can, I think, remove this thing, from the screen.
I'm trying. Give me 5 seconds.
Okay, you do it at the top.
Windows. I'm trying.
That's okay.
Thank you, Kamini ji. Thank you so much. Actually, I have been participating in all these webinars, except for 2 or 3. But this one is very special because this was being done under the climate change programs. And as the member in charge, just recently taken over, it's very important for me. Today, Dr. Tara had shared with us her deep knowledge and so much of information that she has. At the very beginning, she told that she was being introduced as a disaster. No, not at all. Surely, Dr. Thara, you were great and not a disaster at all. The subject today you covered were climate change, environment, and women. All these are actually very intricately related to each other and to disaster management as well. No, yeah, we always hear, and it's an accepted fact that women suffer the most, whatever kind of disaster happens, women are the sufferers most. The reasons that you gave were very simple, but we never thought about it earlier. Like the way we dress, the lack of swimming knowledge, and most importantly, yes, we always used to wonder about that, staying back to save one's own family. Yes, we always had thought that as one of the important reasons. Now, we need to see all these things in the right perspective and, take a serious view for finding solutions to such things. At least for the next generation, we can do something. And our aim should be to reduce and minimize disasters. But then disaster preparedness is also very important. You gave us an overview of what has happened in the past and how it is happening now, the global warming and climate change and all that, and how bad it is going to be for the coming generations. And of course, personally, I learned a lot of useful tips, which I am going to share with many people. And a lot of ideas and suggestions for areas to work under climate change you have given. That also I have made note of, and we'll try to see what can be done. And interestingly, one thing I have, when I heard that, we don't have women plumbers or electricians. Yes, we have never noticed that, but it's a fact. So as a women empowerment organization, we should look at that as well. That's what I was thinking. I don't know how, but of course we can give it a thinking.
Very much, yes.
So that's what. And of course, I don't want to talk too much. I've noted most of the things and then we'll work it out. And thank you, Usha ji, and thank you, the Trivandrum branch and Kamini ji for organizing this. And Dr. Tara, thank you so much for sharing all this information. And we'll try to build around it, whatever we can do from AIWC, we'll try to do. That's all. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Bhuvaneshwari. That was really nice. Anybody else who want to exchange views or ideas? Anybody else?
Good evening, madam.
Is it Manjula?
Yes, I'm Dr. Manjula Suresh from
Please.
Anyway, let me thank the guest speaker for reminding us to use the handkerchiefs. It is a healthy habit. Whenever we visit restaurants, I find that I'll be the only one who uses handkerchiefs. Yeah, so let many of us take it up so that others will also follow. It's a healthy habit.
Yes, exactly. The habit is not there for some people.
Yes.
That was a good suggestion. Anybody else? Anybody else would ask, would like to exchange views or anything? I'll read out What is given in the chat box, Dr. Thara?
Sorry?
Great chat box. I'm reading from the chat box. Okay.
Yes, I'm reading. Now.
Chandra Pandey has written great presentation and said brevity of expression. Sheila
see
Kakade
that.
was the former president of AIWC. She has
I
written
see.
very informative and useful presentation by Dr. Thara in simple language. She's given details as how to combat climate change issues. Thank you, Dr. Thara. Lakshmi Bai, thanks for the very informative speech.
Shashikala Tampan. Who is Shashikala Tampan? She has captured more, I think, all the points.
Yeah, she is from Suvarna. She is Secretary Suvarna, Kozhikode branch. Yeah.
Kozhikode branch.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Is he here?
She is there. She is
Shashikala,
there.
are you there?
Shashikala is there. Yes.
Shashikala, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not on the video, but I'm here.
Okay. So that was nice information and all you've said, no? Would you like to say something, Shashikala ji?
I think it's all there in the chat. I really enjoyed it. And I think I want to go through the YouTube presentation over again because there is so much detailing over there.
I know.
I want to take it all in. And maybe in 1 or 2 sessions of that would be really nice for me. Thank you so much. Really, really, really enjoyed it. I think we need to ponder and think about it a lot. Thank you so much, Dr. Thara. And thank you for arranging this, all of you, Trivandrum.
Thank you, Shashikala ji. Anybody else? Very happy that Sheila Kakade ji was here. And also we had our patron Beena Jain here. We'd like to thank them for their presence. I think they're not here now, I think.
Sheila ji had written something in the chat box.
I just read it. Sheila ji had read it. I have read it. Anybody else who would like to express anything?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dr. Kamini. Actually, I was driving that. I am driving. That is what I thought. But one thing, all the points Dr. Thara narrated here, it was so useful. I would like to arrange some awareness classes in schools, because in our, it would be beneficial for the next generation. Even simple techniques that she has told today, it is highly useful for the next generation. I think we can organize some awareness, continuous awareness program in schools. That's the one thing. Second thing, regarding plumbers and electricians, in our project, World Bank project, water supply and sanitation project, there are women electricians, there are women plumbers, because we'll have a separate training program for women electricians and plumbing work for electrical. There are.
Very good, very good, very good. So this is just a beginning. I think we should learn more from it, I think.
Yeah, that's nice to hear.
Yeah, nice to hear.
Yeah.
That was a good thing. Anybody else would like to talk?
YouTube presentation, then I will catch some of the points. Definitely it will be useful. Thank you, Shah Kamini.
Thank you, Dr. Vijayalakshmi. Thank you. Hemlata ji, would you like to say something? Her phone is muted, I think. Okay, that's all I think, no?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Definitely we can hear. Carry on.
Yes. It was very interesting and everybody knows, and I am also in Red Cross. The first aid, what she was explaining, it is really, it is very useful to all, and hope so. We have to conduct this program, these types of programs in colleges and schools. It will be very useful for all the big society, youth society. What I mean. Thank you very much, Tara, Ushaji, and their group, Kamini, everybody. Thank you.
Susie will be able to want to talk.
I need to go now. I have another appointment now. Please pardon me for leaving.
Okay, Tara. You can always.
All of you for these nice.
ఒకసారి Office ke liye?
Okay, I think you want to go and.
Thank you so
Hello?
much. Thank you, the community teacher, and to all the members
So much,
who are
Tara.
part of this program.
Okay,
Thank you
all
so
the
much.
best and proud of you, okay?
Thank you.
All the best, okay? You are my favorite child, I said, no?
Thank you so much. And
Okay, all the
please
best.
allow leave now. Please allow
Okay,
me to leave.
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
all
Tara.
the
Good to see you
members
again.
of the AIWC. Thank you. See you again. I would like to thank members of the AIWC who are present here for today's presentation. Thank you. What a vast type, Usha.
Yeah, shall we wind up now? Because
Yeah.
GB can just give a vote of thanks, though the chief guest has left.
No, I think I have summed it up, no? I thank all the.
Yeah, but let her just speak. Trivandrum Main
Okay.
Branch. She's the secretary of Trivandrum Main Branch. Yeah.
Okay, good evening to one and all. Well, a topic like this, as everybody said, this climate change, environment, disaster, and women is indeed a topic of the need of the hour. And about the guest speaker, she talked everything in an apple pie order. How does the climate change affect the women, and what are the disasters we often face, and the relationship between gender and environment, and everything. It was a very comprehensive talk. And now let me turn to my duty, that is proposing vote of thanks. As we know, feeling gratitude and not presenting it, expressing it is like wrapping a gift and not giving it. So I would like to propose vote of thanks to all the AIWC members from New Delhi. Our patron Beena Jain ma'am is here. Treasurer Manjuka ma'am is here. Our Vice President Hemalata ma'am is here. Shweta Talwar, Joint Secretary, are here with us. So these people are from Delhi, and so many other people are there who graced us with their presence and guidance. Thanks a million for your presence and concern. And now I take this opportunity to put all our gratitude in the form of words to our guest speaker. 24 years back, I attended her talk in Academy Staff College, and I came to know about so many things, very unnoticed things at that time. With great pleasure, I would like to thank our guest speaker, Dr. G.Thara, for her wonderful, inspiring, eye-opening speech. Thank you, ma'am. With great pleasure, I would like to thank the entire fraternity present here, All India Women's Conference, branches from different states, Kerala, All India Women's Conference, Kerala members, Trivandrum branch, President Dr. Srimati Jalaja ma'am, our patron Indira Apile, and our constant support, Usha ma'am is here, and the pillar of this talk, that is Kamini ma'am, who put her best effort for making this talk a very grand success, and Bhuvaneshwari ma'am is here. And I thank all the members present here, a big salute and a big thank you. Thank you once again, everyone, for being here with us for all this time. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, GB. That was nice. Okay. Shall we wind up, Usha?
Yeah, we can end the meeting now. I thank all of you for attending this webinar. We had very good attendance, which is a good sign, and we had members.
55, 56, yeah, I'm very happy.
Joined us. And
അറിയാതൊരു ആൺ കയറി അങ്ങനെ കുഴപ്പമില്ലല്ലോ ഡോക്ടർ
all are welcome. That is why we write in our invite itself that all are welcome. And actually we need more men to attend our webinars so that they understand what we are working on and what are the concerns.
The topic was very vast, no?
Right. Thank you so much. So we'll end the.
Thank you.
Thank you.